Good evening, I'm Emily Carlson.
And I'm Joe Vigil. Senator Lisa Murkowski found a sympathetic audience at the state capitol today as she rallied against what she says is the overreach of the federal government.
KTVA 11's Rhonda McBride was on the floor as Murkowski urged lawmakers to keep fighting the feds. Rhonda.
Joe and Emily, Senator Lisa Murkowski talked about a lot of issues, including America's representation on the Arctic Council, Shell's battles with oil development. But the thing that got the most applause was her call to fight the feds.
You come in on a day like today with the blue skies and the fresh snow, and you just think it doesn't get any better than this.
Alaska is one thing, Washington another.
Overreach seems to be written into Washington's DNA.
From timber to resource development to disaster relief, Murkowski went on at length about the injustices the state has suffered at the hands of the federal government. She saved most of her anger, though, for the failure of the Interior Department to allow a road through the Eisenbeck National Wildlife Refuge for emergency use.
It is emblematic as to how the federal government believes that it has to somehow protect Alaska from Alaskans, that we can't be counted on to be good stewards of the land.
Murkowski says she's worn many hats over the years, but now she's ready for a new one.
In addition to my role as mediator and ambassador and all that, I can also be a hellraiser. And I am going to be a hellraiser on this. I'm going to channel my inner Ted Stevens, and we're going to get this road.
Murkowski vowed to stir up trouble for the Interior Department until the secretary relents, possibly hold up nominations or some other form of what she called direct engagement.
I have told the people of King Cove that I am going to do everything within my power to help them.
At a news conference following her speech, she was asked about whether she would support the community of King Cove if it resorted to defying federal law.
I'm going to take it to that level. If the people of King Cove believe, perhaps rightly so, that civil disobedience is what it will take to get a level of attention to this, you're not going to find me standing in the way.
Murkowski says she's primed for a fight and hopes lawmakers will join her.
Or perhaps to raise a little hell for Alaska. Good to be back home with you.
That she was told by the Interior Department to get over it, that there was no way that there was going to be a road. Well, later on the Senate floor, Senator Click Bishop said that he would have called back to say, I slept on it, I got past it, 10 miles past it. And to that, the Senate President, Charlie Huggins, replied, man the bulldozers. Now, the East Aleutians Borough says that it has not heard any talk of anyone contemplating civil disobedience and that it is still committed to convincing the Interior Department that it is violating the trust of the people by not trying to build a road where they can safely deal with emergencies.
Right, on a different note, we want to ask you about Representative Sharice Millett. We heard she's had some good news.
That's right. Just before Lisa Murkowski's speech, she got up on the House floor and said that she has just returned from some evaluations and she had good news. While she does have a brain lesion, though, she has not been diagnosed with MS. And one of the wonderful things today, too, is that she and Senator Anna Fairclough escorted Lisa Murkowski onto the House floor to deliver her speech. Emily?
That's some good news. Thanks, Rhonda.